It doesn't matter how small you are. Don't ever feel small. No one has said this on Instagram, but I love you guys so much, so I'm gonna tell you the tea. When you're looking for brands, it is so important that you guys... What's up, you guys? Thank you so much for tuning back into Taylor Time TV. My name is Taylor, and today I'm gonna show you guys how to get paid sponsorships step by step. I'm gonna drop some gems as usual. This is particularly a video for people who want to get paid. If you guys are interested in just getting free items, please check out my how to get free clothing and hair right up here, and subscribe to the channel. Make sure that you guys comment any questions you have. I will answer everyone's questions. So let's get right into the video. The very first thing that you guys want to do is you want to get a professional email that's dedicated just to reach out to these brands. I recommend that the email is whatever your actual name is, or whatever your brand stage name is. You know, my brand is Taylor Time TV, so my email is taylortimetv24@gmail.com. And I only use that email to email brands, so I know, like, when I'm checking that email that it's only gonna be brands. That way I never miss an important email from a business. You don't want to be messaging brands from an email like bigbootyjudy24@gmail.com or anything crazy like that. You guys definitely are branding yourselves, and when you present yourself to a brand as a brand, they have to respect you, period. So I mentioned this in my last video, which is up here. You guys click this right now. It will not take you off this video, but it'll bring the video up for you to watch it next. So just go ahead and click that right now. Thank you. Now back into the tea. What you want to do next is you want to go to your Instagram and you want to archive any pictures that do not look good, professional, brand friendly. I've been told by brands that they don't want red Solo cups in their pictures or anything like that. You know, everyone does that aesthetic. I'm out to dinner with some sushi and a margarita. I think that's fine as long as it looks nice, but I'm talking about, oh, I'm just in a club party, it's turned up in here. You know, we got our red Solo cups, we got our double cups. Do not have that, girl. You want to look very professional. And I talked about this in my last video that I keep referencing. You guys, it's okay to polish up yourself, but also be aware that you're not completely losing yourself either. My objective is that you guys watch this video and then you can go and apply this and get your first brand deal. And comment down below that you got your first brand deal from this video. Go through all your pictures, archive what's not professional, archive what has a lot of filter in it. A lot of brands do not like filtered pictures. You know, the new filters that are hot right now with story is okay because they still look like, you know, a real face, just like a little makeup, maybe a little smoothness. That's fine. Even Facetune is fine. Like, they might tell you no Facetune, but you guys, they want their stuff to look good, because at the end of the day, like, let's be real here. I'm being real with you. If you were to go get a professional photo shoot, that photographer would edit it. So there's nothing wrong with that. Every video you're gonna look up on YouTube is going to say I Photoshop or I Facetune, whatever. You guys can do that. I'm talking about crazy filters with the butterflies, the dog ears and all that, the nose, whatever. Archive that. That can be in your highlights or whatever, but that is not for your brand overall. You want your pictures to look like a lifestyle. Let's say you're in a fitness. You want your stuff to be fitness stuff, working out, jogging, having smoothies, you know, stuff like that. Your page should look like you're already working with a brand. You want to look like you're already working with a brand, so a brand does not get any idea that you haven't worked with a brand. I mean, it's the best thing ever. It's like going to a job interview and it's really your first job. You want to package yourself like, I've done this before. Like, I've already done this, you know. You want to be very professional. You want to look the part, everything. That's how you want your Instagram to look. My next tip is to use IG Reels. Right now, Instagram is really pushing IG Reels. You know, anytime Instagram at all has any kind of new feature that comes out, you guys use it as much as you can, because Instagram will really push you. But a lot of brands have told me that they found me for my IG Reels, or they liked my personality because of my IG Reels and my YouTube channel. You can capture more personality in a video than you can a picture, unless you're like super spontaneous and you have like amazing captions, but I'm not the best at the captions, you know. So you guys definitely want to be utilizing IGTV, IG Reels, you know, all of that, stories. And speaking of, it's very important that on your Instagram profile, you guys have highlights, and in those highlights, you need to make those highlights titled whatever your brand is. For example, my brand is lifestyle, beauty, and fashion, so I have a highlight that says lifestyle, beauty, and fashion. Brands go to those highlights and they see what work you've already done with other brands, as well as what you bring to the table, and they know that those highlights are the forefront of your page, and that people go through those highlights. So they want to be included on those highlights as well. If you guys need any inspiration or anything, I always tell you guys you can definitely copy what I do on my Instagram. I'm totally cool with that. So go to my Instagram, TaylorTimeTV_, and you can look at my highlights, see how I do them. I am very calculated about how I do my highlights, and I'm very calculated about what I put in my highlights. So, you know, that could be another video if you guys are interested in that. Whatever it is you guys choose to do, make sure that you put your personality and that it meshes with your brand. After you're done creating those highlights on Instagram, create a list of brands that you guys want to work with. This is a really big tip that I have. When you're looking for brands, it's really important, and you guys, no one has said this on Instagram, but I love you guys so much, so I'm going to tell you the tea. My tip for looking for brands that has brought me so much success and has gotten me paid is because I have this little secret strategy. Grow. This is just between me and you, or guy, you know, whatever. I like everybody on this channel. So what my secret tip is, when I'm looking at brands, what I will do is I will go in their bio. Like, okay, for example, let's say I wanted to work with this brand that was called Lush Skin. I'm just throwing something out there. And I went and I looked in their bio and I saw Lush Skin is available at Target. They're available at Walmart. They're available at CVS. They're available at Ulta Beauty. That tells me that this brand has a budget, and they have a good budget because they're available in a lot of retail stores. So obviously they're making some buck, they're getting a coin, they're getting paid. So I always look for brands that are available in other stores, like, oh, it's available in Urban Outfitters, or it's available, you know. That's a really good way to start, because a lot of these times you'll be emailing these brands and they'll say, hey, we don't have a budget, we would just like to send you something free in exchange for a review, or in exchange for this, or exchange for that. And me personally, we're here, all of us are here to get our coin, we're here to get paid. So just an easy way that you could save some time and save some emails is to just always make sure that you're looking for brands that are available in other places, other stores. I'm not saying every single brand that's available in another store is going to pay you. I'm saying that's something I learned from trial and error that has really helped me, and it's been working for me so far. Also, once you do that, you know, press on the little arrow under the brand, and you know how it'll suggest you other stores. And I just go through all those other stores and do this process over and over and over again. And I just email every single one, you know, the same template. That brings me to my next tip. You guys are gonna want to create a template, an email template. It's just gonna be one paragraph. You know, people will tell you, go on and on and on, ranting and raving about how much you love the brand. You need to sum up how much you love the brand in 2 sentences. Look, people have stuff to do. You know how you get a very important email from someone and you skim it, and then you go back, like, you skim it for the important details and then you go back and actually read it? I feel like that's what they do. Now, I don't know, but I've been on both sides. You guys know I also have a small business, Drand Beauty. If you guys want to check that out, it's my lip gloss business. You can check that out in the description bar as well as the pinned comment. But honestly, when people message me, I skim for the most important parts, and then I go back and I'm like, okay, this is what they said. Comment down below if you do that as well. I feel like that's human nature. Like, people have things to do. So I wouldn't go on and on and on for paragraphs, because they got things to do, y'all. But I would definitely say, hi, my name is Taylor, or whatever your name is, and I love your brand, and I would love to be able to grow with you. You know, this is a job interview, you guys. You guys know when you go to a job interview, you don't just, you know, tell them, you don't only tell them, I'm this, I'm that, I'm that. You also say, you know, they'll ask you, why do you want to work here? And that's your opportunity to say, I want to grow with you. I want to build a positive relationship that can last for years. You know, that's how you do a job interview. So it's the same thing. It's the same thing. You're just coming to them instead of waiting for them to come to you, which they like, because 1, that saves them time, and 2, that shows initiative that you go out and get what you want, because you're a boss, period. But definitely create an email template just saying, like, hey, this is my name, I love you guys, here's some ideas I have. That is a really big tip that I got off of Clubhouse. I can't remember who gave it to me, but they said, you know, tell them, here's ideas I have for us working together. That way they don't have to think like how you fit into what they're trying to do. You can attach your analytics right then and there. So what you're gonna wanna do is, this is another step, you're going to want to go to Instagram and go to your analytics and screenshot that. Go to YouTube, go to your analytics and screenshot that. You're gonna wanna have that on your hand. I've messaged over 1,000 brands, and I've had one brand ask for my media kit, but I've had probably 20 ask for my analytics. So if you guys want to do that, you can. You know, how much to charge, it's really, really hard, but I don't recommend anybody do anything under $50. I've heard 100, but I think it depends on the brand, me personally, because for a smaller brand, a cool 40 or 50 would suffice, you know. Support small black business. It really depends on what you're doing, what the brand is, all this and all that. You guys, I can't tell you what your worth is. Definitely have those analytics on hand. The little analogy I'm using here is a job interview, right? It's kind of like, I like to think of attaching my analytics as attaching my references. Sometimes when you're applying for a job, they say, we don't need your references, we'll ask you for your references. And sometimes when you apply for a job, they want your references right then and there. So, you know, me personally, you could be like, hey, I can send my analytics if you want them, or you can just send them off bat. Sometimes I forget to send them, depending on if I'm on my phone or email, and you know, you can just always send them later, because most of the time, if someone does have a campaign, they're going to message you and be like, hey, can I see your analytics? Totally up to you guys. If you guys want to do that, you know, that's something that people might disagree on or whatever. You guys know my saying here, drag me in the comments if you disagree, but that's my experience being on both sides of it, being the brand and being the influencer. Again, we're going to create that email template, and when we create that email template, what you want to do is you kind of want to tweak it for every single person. You don't want to send no bland template, right? You want it to be a little personalized. You want to have the name, so make sure you're switching out the name every time. You want to say something cool about a product or something cool about the brand. You know, if you guys want a video on the email template, I could definitely do that. But basically, as you send this, you're going to get back a response, and the response is going to be either we are not doing a campaign at this time, or we are doing a campaign at this time and this is our budget, this is what we're willing to pay. Another tip that I want to mention about emailing these brands is that they're always doing campaigns and marketing, whatever the case, but they usually have a bigger budget around holidays, around season changes, because that's when they have to push particular products for that time. So I definitely recommend being on top of your holidays, being on top of your seasons. That was just a tip I've never heard on YouTube that I learned in my personal experience. And here at Taylor Time TV, we like to drop the little diamond emoji. So if you enjoyed that one, definitely drop those down below. If you by chance get a brand that says we don't have a budget, what I would definitely do is I would respond saying, hey, what numbers do I need to be able to be paid? Like, how many followers do I need? What do my analytics need to be for me to get paid? And I would love to work in the future. After a while, when you start getting a couple of brands, it's just something with the universe where, like, once a door opens, it's like a whole bunch of doors open, and then you have these options, right? Same thing. Once you start working with a couple of brands, it's like brands start seeing that, and they're following these hashtags that you're hashtagging under the post, and they're seeing like, okay, who's the new hottest influencer? Because let me tell you something, it doesn't matter how small you are, don't ever feel small, because these brands are looking for the new, freshest face every time. There's always a new it girl, there's always a new hot influencer, and stay in your lane. But I'm telling you what I know, they're always looking for fresh faces and big, fresh personalities. I just felt that I was speaking to someone, and I had to let you guys know, like, honestly, we're looking for the next person to come up with. They want to grow with you. You know, just think of it honestly as interviewing for a job. So that's my advice there. Don't ever get down in the dumps about, hey, oh my gosh, I can't get paid, or they all want to be free. You are a smaller influencer, most of the time, they are going to want to, you know, give you free items instead of pay. But you have to know your worth. And it's really up to what you're okay with. I'm not gonna sit up here and cap to you guys. I'm not gonna be this fake YouTube guru that's like, oh yeah, get your money, da da da. And I know that I've done things for free. I know that I've done things in exchange for whatever the case is. I think that sometimes in the beginning, when you're trying to prove that you are an influencer, because you're not just an influencer because you want to be, okay? You have to prove that. And you prove that by working with brands and being a personality and creating content, right? I'm honestly telling you guys the truth that no one tells you. That is, like, you want to be working with as many brands as you can in the beginning, just to prove that you're an influencer. Because like I said, once these brands start seeing, oh, you worked with Fashion Nova, you worked with Shein, I want to work with you. Not that you want to just be accepting any old body and they grandma, but the fact that you want to be accepting these companies that have a reputation. It's okay to get products for free. I believe, my personal opinion, it's okay to get products for free when it makes sense for you. If it's a brand that you know is a good look for you to be working with, I don't see any reason for you not to work for free, because if you give out really good content, they're gonna repost you on their page and you're gonna get followers too and exposure that way as well. So, you know, I know a lot of people on YouTube like to say, oh no, exposure don't pay the bills and clout don't pay the bills and whatever, but it can most definitely open a door. Going back to working at a real job, because you should see this as a real job. It's just like doing an internship. There are some internships that you're not getting paid. There are some internships where they're only giving you credits, and there are some internships that are paid. I'm not gonna tell you only do one or the other. Do what works for you. Don't let anybody tell you this one's right or this one's wrong. I don't see anything wrong with working with a big brand company that you agree with, that you already use, in exchange for free stuff, especially when you are a content creator and you need content. That is why these brands feel like they don't have to pay people, because they know that we need content. But it's just a seesaw and it's a balance, you guys. And I don't want to get too deep into that topic. I just wanted to give you guys something quick to help you guys get on your road, on your way. We're trying to have a hot girl summer and we're trying to get paid this summer. So if any of these tips helped you guys, drop gems down below. I love you guys so much. And now I need you to binge watch the last episodes and catch up on the new episodes. And I'll see you in the next one. Bye.